Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's video we're going to be playing with a gorgeous collection from Altenew. It's called Enchanted Beginnings and I've got this gorgeous 3D embossing folder featuring a lovely bride and groom, and then I've got the coordinating stencils that go with it. So you get the mask for the dress and the stencil, and then you also get a second stencil that covers all the other different elements like the bouquet, the groom's shoes, the groom's suit. So it's really gorgeous, really easy to use, and it makes some stunning wedding or engagement cards. So first of all, I've got a card panel that I've cut down to size. This is 5.5 inches squared, and I'm just going to spritz it with some water just to the side of me, just ever so lightly, just to soften up the fibres in the cardstock so that you get a better emboss. I'm going to make sure that it's in my embossing folder nice and straight, and then I'm going to run it through my Sizzix Big Shot machine with the standard basic platform, so those base plates and then one cutting plate. And you can see that you get a really crisp embossed image. It's actually really stunning, just white on white. But I'm going to show you how we can use the layering stencils with it. So I've got some Distress Oxides in Hickory Smoke, Black Soot, Mowed Lawn and Tattered Rose. And it's really easy just to line the stencils up over the embossed image. So I think because it's embossed and it's slightly raised, it makes it a lot easier to line up the stencil. I've just popped the magnet down for my glass mat just to hold that in place, and I'm just going to use the excess ink that's on my brush which has got Hickory Smoke on. Now all I'm doing is going lightly around the edges just to kind of create a shadow effect, and you'll see that once we've finished the groom as well, you can't really see the grey on the bridal dress, and it really just helps deepen that embossed impression, give it a little bit of a shadow outline, and just adds a little bit more depth to the overall image. So I've now lined the stencil up over the groom, and again I'm using Hickory Smoke, but this time a lot more heavy-handed. I've got a lot more ink on my brush, and I love the way that with this stencil and with the embossed image already, you can really add some depth to the suit and add a little bit of shading. So again, I've just kind of gone darker at the bottom of his legs and darker again at the top of his legs, and just left a little bit of a shadow around his knee area. So again, it just adds a lot more depth, and I think it looks really stunning. I've just added some black soot to his little boot or his little shoe, and I'm just wiping off the excess ink from my stencil, because when we come to add ink through the bouquet, you do risk getting any of that other ink on the bride's dress, so it's good to just wipe your stencil off at this stage. I've got a little bit of excess ink on my brush that's Tattered Rose, and again with the Mowed Lawn I'm just using the excess ink on my blending brush, and then it's just so easy to line up that stencil, and yeah, it looks really pretty. So just to step it up a little bit, I've got a silver Uniball gel pen, and I'm just going to go around all the little detail on the dress, so all the little dots where you could imagine there could be beads or sequins, and then there's a few little like swirls coming out of the flowers. So again, I'm just going to use my gel pen and just go in all of these little areas. Now it looks like it's quite a painstaking process. It took me about 3 minutes in real time to do that, so it's not too long, and it just adds a lovely little extra detail. For my sentiment, I've got this gorgeous stamp set from Gina Designs, and I'm going to use the sentiment that says, "Wishing you love and laughter forever after." This is a gorgeous sentiment stamp set with a beautiful bouquet, perfect for all those wedding and engagements. So yeah, a really lovely versatile set. I've got the Wow Polished Silver Embossing Powder, but first of all I'm just going to use my anti-static powder bag just to make sure there's no grease marks on the paper. And then I'm just going to go ahead and ink up my stamp with the Wow Embossing ink and stamp it down nice and level on the right hand side in that gap there on the card panel. I'll then go ahead and tip on some of the embossing powder using a scrap of paper so that I can catch the excess and pop it back in the little pot. I've got a little paintbrush just to get off a few little bits that did still stick. Then I can go ahead and heat set it using my heat tool on the hottest setting from underneath. I really love this stencil embossing folder combination because I think you can really personalise it. So you can change up all the colours, for example. You could match their wedding theme. I just think it's really great for those personalised, customised wedding cards. So you can see that gorgeous shine there on the polished silver embossing powder. So I'm just going to go ahead and mat this to a layer of metallic silver cardstock. I've got some liquid glue in this little bottle. This is the Cosmic Shimmer Quick Grab glue that I'm using at the moment. And I'm just going to make sure that I add plenty of glue, because you want to make sure that the embossed areas stick down nicely. And also where we've done some heat embossing, there may be a little bit of warping. So you want to make sure that you've got lots of glue, lots of really good contact so that it stays nice and flat. I'm just adding some more glue on the back of this panel just so that I can then attach the whole thing to a 6x6 card blank. And then there is the first finished card for today. So I really hope that you've enjoyed that one. For our second card today, we're going to be using just the dress from the embossing folder. So I really want to show you how easy it is to customize this as well. So obviously you might want to use this for just an engagement card to the bride-to-be. You might want to use it as a thank you for being my bridesmaid card. So you just want to really focus on perhaps the dress. So I'm just using the Tattered Rose Distress Oxide. I'm just adding lots of ink through the stencil just to really kind of define the dress and add some colour. And then I'm going to grab my CutterBee Scissors and I'm just going to fussy cut all around that embossed image. Now, of course, you could just use the stencil of the dress and then you could add more stenciling through it to kind of create your own design. But if you still want the embossed impression, then the best thing to do is to emboss the image first and then add the stencil over the top, add some colour and then just fussy cut it out. So I love the fact that this is versatile, that you can use it in more than just the one way that maybe it was intended. You don't have to use the bride and groom together. You can just use that lovely dress. This could even be great for like prom cards as well. So yeah, lots of different ways that this could be used. So I'm going to turn this into a card that is a US A2 card. So I'm working on a card panel that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 first of all. I've added lots of liquid glue on the back of that and then I'm just going to trim off the excess with my long bladed Tim Holtz scissors. Once that's all stuck down, I'm then going to add a sentiment. And again, I'm using the same stamp set, but I'm just using this sentiment that says love. It took me a few minutes just to kind of work out where I wanted the sentiment, but I do decide to go in the same location. And I'm going to use the Wow Polished Gold Embossing Powder for this card because I just think the gold went really nicely with the Tattered Rose Distress Oxide. So I'm just going to quickly heat set that. And then to step this card up, I'm going to go ahead and add some gems all the way down the dress. So I've got this little shaker mix in a little jar and I'm just kind of picking out some of the mixed sizes of the little clear gems, and then I'm just going to go ahead and quickly stick all of those down using some quick grab glue. Again, this is the Cosmic Shimmer glue. And then again, I'm going to come in with a gel pen, but this time a silver one, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing, just go in all of those little dots on the dress just to really kind of step up the card a little bit, add a little bit of an extra detail. And it's all these little finishing touches that can really make a card go from lovely to just really, really pretty. So it's just nice to add those little extra details. And again, you could really customize this, change up the colour, change up the sequins, add different effects. You could even add some ribbon, like a little bow. There's so many different things that you could do with it. So I think it's really, really versatile. I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the back of this panel and we're going to stick it down to a lovely gold matte layer of cardstock. And then again, I'm just going to go ahead and stick that onto my A2 card blank. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you've enjoyed these 2 cards that I've made. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing that 3D embossing folder in action and how to use the stencils. Let me know in the comments below what you think to this combination from Altenew. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's the first Altenew products I've actually bought as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing with them and I found the stencils so easy to use. So as always, all the products that I've used will be linked in the description box below. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more from my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and I'll see you in the next video.